All right, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I can't promise you this one won't get monetization limited today. Can't promise that. I saw your boy on TV yesterday. He was on a TikTok or something. He was trying to discuss something in Congress. My dogs can put a sentence together better than he can.
Who are we talking about?
Fetterman. Hello and good night.
Hello and good night.
He just was saying jibbled words that it was embarrassing. Out of
Pennsylvania.
the 100 people that we have in this country, and he's one of the 100 senators. Got to go back to the Senate repealing. I think it's the 17th Amendment. The senators should be elected by the state Congress. The senators are there they're supposed to represent the states, not the people. This shouldn't be a popular election. We changed that from the original framework. The House of Representatives is why it's called the House of the People. There's no difference in the House and the Senate whenever they're both elected by the people, other than a few responsibilities they have. So, yeah. If you're the praying type, my buddy Andy, he's on the list of when I send the show out. Lost his brother last week. 54 years old, folks. Life is short. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to talk about 9 addictions a day to make yourself stronger. Things you can do, things you need to get rid of, things you can do, and a lot of stuff. It's just put in a list. A lot of stuff we've talked about over and over. But life is short. Take care of your health. Take care of yourself. It's just 54 is, or maybe it was 52. It was somewhere in that range. It was way too young to not be here anymore. So Stephen Strait says good morning. Hey, good morning. I think I'm trying something you've been trying. So last night at 6:00 was the last time I'm doing a 72-hour fast. Never done a fast before in my life, other than the one every day, the 18-hour intermittent fasting. Do yourself a favor and start reading of the benefits of a 72-hour fast and the different modes your body goes into, and it's and repairing cells and those things. It's amazing if you start listening to the right doctors and people who've got ideas versus the ones who imagine that Durham said everything that we told you was the truth. Imagine that. They demonetized us. They did everything, and guess what? It was the truth. So Steven says it's really worked for him. I've never done one, so I'm actually going to do probably be 84 hours by the time I get done, because I'm not going to eat Friday night just to go to bed Friday night. So I'll wait till Saturday morning to eat. So it'll be somewhere around 82, 83. Yeah, Ron's got good news. Say what?
What do you eat?
Just water for the next 3 days.
I had a buddy who went on a 40-day fast. Now, I don't suggest that for anybody, but he just did orange juice. It was crazy.
So I've got the electrolyte packs in here, so that'll be.
I'm sure there was something that kept up his protein and stuff too, but I remember him just drinking orange juice.
So the keto, you're not that hungry to begin with. So, maybe tomorrow will be a struggle. I don't think today will be a struggle. Today, I don't think it'll be much.
I have cut out 99% of my carbs. Almost nothing now, except what you naturally get in vegetables and whatnot.
You know what I've cut out?
Man, I'm still hungry.
Really?
Yeah.
I wait. You know me. Kiss, simple. Simple. It's just whatever. I stopped putting this together. I've cut my calories by huge amounts.
Lag say he was eating your carbs just to make up for the supply chain.
I am down a lot of weight. I keep pointing at the numbers, 198.2. I am under 200 pounds for the first time in my life, probably since I was in my late 20s.
Yeah, I don't like Steve. I don't like the protein drinks. I'm just doing a water fast. It's got electrolytes in it, so it should be fine. So I'll make a video about it. I'll start it after the show. Just kind of an introduction, and then I'll add to it a couple times each day for the next 3 days, just to see how I feel. I weighed this morning 206.5, so be interesting to see.
I guess I got to get to work. You're catching up.
Right. Most people when they do 3 days lose 8 to 10 pounds. I might pass you.
Well, I can tell you one thing. I ain't freaking fasting. I had fried fish, fried scallops, and French fries for dinner last night.
Yeah, but you probably had serving size for a toddler though, not like you used to.
Oh no, they brought out a whole plate, set it in front of me. Regular size portion.
So did you and Lori split it, or you just eat part and just leave it?
No, Lori didn't want it, so I just ate I ate a very small portion. I probably had like 6 French fries out of a pile of French fries, and I did eat all the fish and shrimp. I was traveling yesterday, so my food clock was way off. 3.5 hours on the plane, they don't serve you nothing.
You get like peanuts or a bag of chips.
No, I was on Spirit, dude. You get spit.
I flew Spirit from Cleveland to Vegas. It wasn't the food, because they did give us like some chips or something. But the seats in that, I'm 6'2". That was the most uncomfortable flight ever.
See, I had no problems. First of all, I flew Spirit because of the times. The first thing I did was, if it ain't a big seat, I'm not flying Spirit. If I'm not sitting, I walk on the plane, and that's my seat. The first seat when you get on the plane.
No, it wasn't bad. The only bad part is the seats are too close together, and I'm a tall guy, so I got my knees up in my I know.
First seat, dude, I got lots of leg room. The seats were this far apart.
Nobody's ever going to confuse you, John, of being 6'2".
No, me? Dude, I'm short.
But I'll tell you, I thought about next time I fly volunteering to be the emergency exit seat, because there's more leg room there.
Well, a lot of the stuff that I've watched and the information on TikTok and other things, it happens to be, I follow Dr. Huberman, and what's the guy out of Harvard? There's an Asian guy out of Harvard, and he recommends that you do a 3-day fast once a month because this guy, all he does is study aging and longevity, and he's a smart fella. He tells you the things he takes. I think he takes a compound called NMN and resveratrol. But other than that, first thing in the morning, he works on breathing exercises, because the one thing he says is, studying aging and studying between him and the insurance guy who studied everybody. There's 2 of them that I watch, and the other guy is the insurance guy who was an actuary, and the one who was working with, who's the guy who does the MMA fights. I was the one who owns. Somebody in the chat, tell me who owns MMA. Harlan, who owns MMA?
You talking about Joe?
No, not
he
Joe.
doesn't own
Dana.
Dana White.
Dana White.
And so Dana White called this guy up and says, interesting story. Calls him up and says, because this guy tells you that he can look at your blood work and everything, and he can tell you within a month when you're going to die. And so
I don't want to know.
Dana White did all the work with him, and he called him and goes, "I'm coming out to see you." He goes, just tell me, dude, on the phone. He goes, no, I can't tell you on the phone. He goes, is it that bad? He goes, I'll see you in a couple of days. So he gets out there and talks to him, and he says, you've got 10.4 years to live. Dana's my age, or right around my age, 54, 55. And he says being faced with the reality of that, he changed his entire life. He spent a lot of money on different things, and changed what he ate, and went to more of a human diet, and changed and started taking some of the things. And they retested him 6 months later, and he goes, it's like 31 years or something now. So just, it's never too late. Change what you're doing, and understand that quality of life and length of life.
You got to find your why, though.
Yeah,
you got to find what's going to drive you past the first.
So we had wing night last night, and we sat around talking after dinner. Harlan had abandoned us. It's terrible.
Huh.
All of us are just sitting there.
Well, it's because he doesn't want to drink Bud Light in public. He sits at home and drinks it.
Actually, he went to we're getting a pro soccer team, and so there was something. He and his kids went to that, but and so one of the guys there he's like you, John. He's a bigger guy. He's where you were when you started. He's just started with keto and these things, and he's like he might even be shorter than you, and he's like, you know what? He said, I've been doing this for a while, and this is the first time I've been below, I think he said 265, and quite some time ago, he's a nurse. He says, my knees are killing me. He's like, there was no way I was going to be able to keep doing what I do, and I've trained. He's got 3 or 4 degrees, and so he's like, I feel better already. And after a month or two, it's not too late, folks.
No, it's too late when they bury your ass.
So like he only spent $150,000, not $2 million, and the doctor says straight up front, you can do this for free. It's about changing a lifestyle. It's not, but you know how it is when John's been around these folks. They got lots of money and can throw money at a problem. Dana White spending $150,000 is like me going to Walmart today. So he straight up front says, you don't need to do what he did. You make these certain changes in your life. Go back to get rid of the refined sugars, refined flours. Get rid of sugar, and
that's one of the things that I've always been good with is no sugar. I don't like sweets or anything like that.
I was that way about salt. So this is
I like something once in a while, but
it's Element Packs. They've got 1,000 milligrams of salt, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 of magnesium. And the first time I split it, because it says you can do 1 bottle or split it into 2. So I've been splitting it into 2. And the first time I drank one, even splitting it into 2, I was like, oh my God, this is so salty. But now I'm very used to it. Hey, Andy, good morning, buddy. I'm used to it now. I can almost probably drink it in 1 bottle, but I need the water. So, but there's lots of stuff, just because a platform like a TikTok or something, they'll tell you, oh, it's terrible. There's lots of good information and lots of, because on the doctor sense, they're not, if you go political, they will ban your account pretty quickly. They're as bad as everybody else, but the other kind of stuff, they leave the doctors alone. So today is fake sugar is also talked. So Mr. Say, that's the other thing I'm doing is I think I've got 3 drinks left. I'm not buying anymore. I'm done with Coke Zero and all them. So
listen, you all know that I'm a man of faith. God's got my number picked. he numbered my days before I had breath. When it comes to this saccharin and I really, honestly, it's about movement for me. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, congratulations on the weight loss," and I really do appreciate it. But you got to understand, more than just the weight off of me. I sleep at night. I can walk now. My hips don't hurt. I can sit in a chair for more than an hour without being in excruciating pain. Uh, there's things that I can do now that I never could before in my life, and that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah,
That's
you got to take care of the number one thing in business. We'll start tying this back because I'm going to talk about 9 addictions. That is, you've got to be here. You've got to be in. It's hard to be in the right frame of mind and make good decisions if you feel bad, if your health is bad. And so, it's never too late to start taking care of it. And Felix, sugar is not good for you. I don't care what you say. We'll argue about this till the cows come home. It is, your body treats it like a poison. It is a source of a lot of inflammation in most people. So you might want to do a little bit of reading on refined sugar and what it actually is. Natural stuff and fruits and stuff is not the same. We're talking refined sugar. You're going to go in there in a bag and get it, 5-pound bag of it. So they have different kinds of sugars. Natural sugars and refined sugars are not the same. They act similar, but they are not the same. So 9 addictions. Let's talk some of these. I was listening to a TikTok the other day, and I'm like, these are good points to talk about. So number 1, comparison. It will suck the joy out of life if you live your life trying to compare yourself and compare to others. I've mentioned this over and over. You've got to be yourself. You've got to do things. If because you see only parts of what others do, so you never get the full picture. And comparing yourself to others you want to talk about killing your momentum and really depression and all those kind of things, because you only see, for the most part too, people only show you the positive part. You don't see the struggles. Everybody sees John, the big, run the big Amazon company. They don't know the John I knew when John and Lori were splitting hamburgers and fries at McDonald's because they were scraping every penny together just to get it started and get through it.
John, the new Rolls Royce owner.
John will tell you, homeless John living under a bridge and other things around New Jersey for a little while. You don't see the sacrifice, and you only see the benefits. And man, comparison will absolutely John be rich.
Listen, I want to say something because he said that. I am a member of the country club in Las Vegas. I get to rub elbows with the dude that owns the Las Vegas Raiders. Mike Tyson likes the cigar lounge.
Let's smoke at the car.
What's that?
Let's smoke at the car.
Hey, I got my own humidor at the country club.
I like Mike, but so what can you do in comparison? The one thing they suggested is adding a gratitude routine, a gratitude practice to your morning routine. Each day, if you start the day, just focusing on gratitude and the things that you're thankful for, and the things that you've been blessed with, and the things that you're allowed to do, and really focus on realizing that you're a part of the 1%. Not just John, but every single one of you, look around this world and how many people live off of just pure nothing, and still live under slavery, under warlords, under all this craziness. You can find all this shit, all this, sex trades, and you can find any bit of terribleness you can find in this world. And Harlan said he'll be in Vegas in June. He wants to meet your friends.
I may be in Alaska.
So, Felix, you are kidding yourself if you don't think all this shit exists. I can 100% promise you it does. All you gotta do is study the history of Africa and how many African slaves there still are on that continent.
But you don't listen. Slavery's about to happen again, right here in this country. Y'all don't realize what this AI is going to do. Mark my words. Your days of freedom are very limited if you don't understand what this AI is capable of doing. They have been collecting our data for years. Never really understood why they were collecting data. I now fully understand it.
So you're 100% correct, Felix. Every race at some point has been in slavery.
Absolutely.
I mean, either been enslaved or were the slave owners. Every race.
Every race.
Now you got to do is move to California, and I'll give you a check for it.
It is. If you study history and understand every race that have been dominated, it's.
Here's the other thing you can do. You have to find what works for you. You need to pick your lane, get in it, put your blinders on. Listen, I'm into AI right now, but I'm only into AI for what it can do for me. What advantages does it give me? I got into it and I went all over with it. I'll tell you, I was all over AI, trying to figure it out, understand it. Once I settled into it, I put my blinders on and I am stuck in my lane. You could show me anything you want and I'll go, oh, that's cool. How'd you do it? I may take a look at it for 5 minutes, but after that, I'm jumping back in my lane.
So we'll finish up number one, comparison. Stop comparing yourself to others. You can't do anything about it. Focus on yourself. Focus on what you're thankful for, and continue to focus on that, because once you understand that you are truly blessed as well, and you have specific characteristics and traits that allow you to do things, it's amazing how much better off you are in mindset. So number two, I loved what he said. Comfort. You got to get rid of comfort. He's the sentence that really kind of hit me pretty good. Is the comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Think about that statement. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die.
Yes.
If you never learn to accept failing, that it's part of the journey and not the end, you end up with a country like we've got right now, with a bunch of people who have never failed, and if they fail, all they do is sit around and scream and want to be in a cry closet in a corner. They have no way to deal with the fact that failure is a part of the process in life. It's a part of life. It's a part of learning. Everything is not perfect. You need to stop waiting for it. The comfort zone.
Is it okay to be in a comfort zone if that's your choice?
Well, it depends on where you are in life. There are senior citizens where comfort zone is just incredible.
Is it okay to be in my comfort zone?
No. Well, yes. And no.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
The guy in Missouri building that big warehouse, does he want you in a fucking comfort zone? No. He does not. He wants you. He wants full bore John with all the ideas, everything that you do to sell more stuff.
Absolutely.
I can tell you, comfort zone got me in a lot of trouble. I'm not in a comfort zone now. Can't be.
But I'm at a point in life where I can afford to be in a comfort zone. So, and
Right,
I
so it's
agree,
different.
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, I fully agree with you, and I agree with Beard, because I'm at a point where Lori and I have more than enough. We live very simple lives. We closed on our house. We live in our RV. We're very happy here. We're saving a small fortune every month for our retirement. We're doing whatever we want. We went out last night with our friends. My mother needed me. I jumped on a plane and went. Financially, I'm okay. But to Scott's point, the dream of a $10 million company, because of my comfort zone, it's dying, because I know as I get older, the chances of my success at that level are going to be less and less, because I don't have the drive to do more. I look at people like Elon Musk, Dave Ramsey, um, Ben Mala recently has really toned down. And if you start listening to what they're saying, it's about, I don't know how these guys keep going. They have everything.
Because they keep going because they love the process. They fell in love with the process of doing whatever it is they do, and the money is a byproduct. They continue to focus on process. It's
Well, Ben's big thing now is, and if you try and shut out, I mean, you think I'm loud, you go watch Ben for a while. Ben
yeah.
makes me look
I
like a
watched 3 or
freaking
4
game
of them.
cat.
That's all I could take.
He is now talking about a legacy. It's no longer about him. It's about how does he train his children and grandchildren to run this thing he's got,
Right.
and carry his dream from where he was to what they're getting into. His oldest son is now building out his out parcels and stuff like that. Ben never thought about that. There's things in my business I don't think about.
All right. So number 3, I've talked about this quite a bit. Quitting, staying in the game puts you ahead of most people.
Shit.
Just look at, when I started making videos in 15 or whatever it was, how many people are no longer making videos who were successful for short amounts of time? And then, I do this because I enjoy it. I don't make a ton of money off YouTube anymore. Something about politics that kind of pisses people off. I don't know what that is. Damn it. The truth hurts, and I refuse to shut up. I can't, Russia. Did we tell you? How many times did we tell you that was a hoax? They proved that it went all the way back to Obama, folks. Everybody knew. They should all swing from the fucking gallows. They are all goddamn traitors. Every single one of them. They are, when you attempt to overthrow and control the election of the United States of America, you are fucking traitors. You should hang. No way around it. All of them. The Clintons, Obama, the Bidens, Comey, all them idiots of the CIA and all the FBI. They should, upper brass. They should all hang. Every single one of them hang. I could fix crime. I could fix all this stuff in about 30 minutes in this country. You go back to old Western justice and hang them on the courthouse till the birds peck their eyes out and show consequences and all this stuff. Man, these people stop this crazy shit. It ain't guns. And they're still at it, folks. The Patriot, whatever they call themselves. If that wasn't a group of feds marching around and carrying on, and then they had
what number is this?
We're on this is number 3. We're not quitting. Okay. See, I'm not quitting. See, there you go. I'm still there you go.
I'm just trying to help you, get off that little frickin' podium for the politics. I guess besides this show's already been frickin'
it probably has.
demonetized.
I don't really give a rap.
I know you don't.
Until you realize that how much of this stuff affects your truly. Look at what they did. They have over if they did it in 16, they just got better. You don't think 2020 was stolen? And what are the effects of 2020 being stolen? Look at what are you paying for gas prices? Look at all the chaos and the millions and millions and millions of dollars we've spent on investigations that they knew were fake. And they stole tax money to do investigations that they knew they made up. They are look at what they've done to your go take a look at on the streets of San Francisco and think to yourself, thank God they outlawed straws so people could shit in the fucking streets and live in tent cities and everything, but they don't have straws. Turtles are making it, even though humans are living in waste on the streets.
Scott Baio just left. Got canceled for it.
It's so staying in the game, don't quit. If you have a passion for it and this is what you're doing and you're playing, hey, the next one, this is a good one. Distraction. Was that a distraction?
Tamara said something about quitting. Quitting can be good.
So distraction, don't hide from your responsibility. One of the interesting things this idea was to schedule 2 15-minute time slots in your day to do absolutely nothing. Just allow your mind to settle, to refocus. No, for 15 minutes, no phone, no nothing, just solitude and be alone with your own thoughts. Has anybody tried that? So I'm going to start building
yes.
It
absolutely.
Every
time I do it, I fall asleep, but whatever.
I used to get that a lot when I was traveling a lot in my car. When I was doing all this driving earlier in this Amazon world, because you'd have a lot of time just to, 15 miles to the next turn. What do? You're just looking at whatever. So there's a lot of time.
Cha-ching.
That was not me.
Wasn't me either.
I'm not making any freaking money today. You all need to be shopping.
I hit that right there. So let me move my head out the way. It's a turntable, so that's a good one. So why look things up and understand what you're looking at. It was 11 o'clock. The last one or two sales in a neighborhood yard sale that I'd been in since 7 o'clock. So these yard sales have been going on since 7. That turntable was $5. It's an Audio-Technica USB turntable. I asked later, I'm like, does it work? Why is it still here? And she goes, I don't know why it's still here. It absolutely works. And I tested it when I got home. It absolutely works. $5. It just sold for 148 shipped. It was just sitting there.
Nice.
That was interesting when it'll do USB to headphones. And so
can you make digital copies of your records and shit?
I didn't go that far, but it's got out, so I'm sure you can. So I'm gonna start doing that. 2 15-minute time slots, no distractions, no nothing. See what happens.
Meditation is a good thing. I mean, you don't have to be religious and believe in all that Buddhist stuff. Meditation is a good thing. It'll,
Right. Just type.
All right. So you knew this was coming. If we're talking about addictions, number 5.
What is that? Number
5. Your damn phones. How much time do we spend on? These phones will tell you the screen time and time that you spend on them. Baby, hush. You probably got wet feet. So the one thing they suggest is
pick me up, Daddy.
I know her feet are wet. Is
she don't give a shit.
It's an hour before bedtime, an hour after you wake is to not touch your phone. Put it in he said turn it off, but I can't imagine turn it off. But you can put it in do not disturb, and it won't do anything other, because a lot of people use it as an alarm clock.
Yeah, I do.
Man, Kevin,
It'll still alarm if you put it in do not disturb, I believe.
it will.
Because my wife does that. Hers is in do not disturb overnight. So if you have an emergency and you need to call her at 2 a.m, screw you. It ain't going through.
So Phyllis, I wish I had. So Phyllis says he doesn't take into his house. He leaves it in the office downstairs. I wish I had that kind of.
I don't have that. That is my biggest addiction, is not the phone, but the computer and the phone, in conjunction with each other.
So that's everybody has their issues with that, but the one point he made was if you put your phone down 1 hour before bedtime and 1 hour before you wake up, the digital world will not miss you. Just it won't. It will
That's
continue.
because you ain't grumpy.
It will continue. It will continue marking on without you.
For me, it was always a fear of missing out. Stupid stuff too. I have to see what the latest YouTube videos are being uploaded. I don't know. It's bad. And I know it doesn't matter. I could watch them tomorrow.
So each one of have a struggle. I'm bad with picking up the phone in the evenings. The most of the day, I can work out here and it'll lay over there or do whatever. I don't mess with it much, unless I get a text or something. I'll go look at it. But other than that, I don't have a need for it. But it's because hell, nobody calls me, so except for Johnny.
I'm addicted to information. It just has to keep flowing. Now, it can be useless information, and most of it probably is. But I'm addicted to all that. I don't care what you're doing. I don't look at Facebook to see what you're doing. I look at YouTube and I look at things like that to just get information.
So one of the biggest things on this iPhone, so it's an iPhone, it's a 14. One of the biggest things on an iPhone that stops distractions is there's a setting on there that if someone is not in my contacts, and that means if they're not important enough in me in my life that I've actually put their name and number in the phone, whether they're a business or a personal contact, you can click it and it's a silent. There's no ringer for anybody who's not in the contacts. And so if you're not in my contacts, leave a message. I'll get back to you.
Am I in your contacts?
No.
Okay.
Hell, you lost all of us, so I deleted you too then.
Welcome.
It was the last time I called John. John's like, who was this? I'm like, man, who the hell do you think it is? He goes, you remember my phone got stolen. I lost everything. And you were in a car with some people. I'm like, they're probably wondering, who is this dude? I asked who the hell do you think it is? But do I ship electronics to FBA? Not generally. Generally, I keep them here. So number 6, this is one a lot of people suffer from. Waiting for perfect conditions to start. How many people have an idea or have something they want to do, and until everything is perfect, they won't start? Well, I want to this TikTok channel, the way they presented this was really smart, and just think about it. If you're waiting for perfect conditions to start, perfect conditions are never going to exist, but there is someone out there that is way less qualified from you living the life that you want, because they will go ahead and start. They're not waiting for perfect. They will figure it out as they go, and they are living the life you want because they simply started. And they quote from Pink Floyd song about waiting 10 years for something, and they didn't realize they missed the start of the race. It was something. It's interesting Pink Floyd quote I'd never heard before. But so Bezos, everybody loves Jeff Bezos, right? He's talked about it that he uses the 70% rule. when he has 70% of the information he thinks he needs, that he wishes he had, he would go ahead and start whatever it is.
Drives me nuts.
Perfection does not exist. Stop waiting on the perfection train to pull into the station. It ain't coming. It never existed. That one was, it'll really, if you're a person that waits like that, and just a simple statement, there's someone way less qualified for you living the life that you want. Should be a wake up call if that's something that you struggle with. Like says he starts with 22%. That's why you live in your mother's basement. Sometimes you win and 4 times you lose.
If you don't
get it,
if you don't roll the dice, you don't get. You just listen. I'm on a big kick right now that AI is the future of selling on Amazon. And I'm out there saying that 95% of the people that are using AI at the moment are using it wrong. And I have so many people that are going to be sitting on the sidelines, and if I'm correct, they're going to say, boy, he got lucky. It's the one thing that drives me absolutely nuts. They'll sit on the freaking sidelines and wait for perfect information from me and then say I got lucky.
So number 7 is multitasking.
It's the stupidest thing in the world.
And his statement on that was, I thought was pretty spot on. Multitask, half focusing leads to half assing. And that's true. If I start trying to balance more than one thing at a time, just look at your business. If you sell on 2 or 3 platforms, you've got a better platform. You do better on one platform than others. Why is that? It's because you end up concentrating more on one platform. Why does my YouTube channel suck? Because I chose reselling over being a YouTube person. And that means I didn't have the time to make the videos and do all the stuff that I should have. All right, Stephen, have a good day, buddy. So yeah,
that's a man who's committed. That's a man who's committed right there, Stephen Strait. I mean, not even listening to our show, and he's going to the gym instead. That's commitment.
He better be listening to us on the way, damn it. You can hear
but
us.
It really is. You can see how committed he's been just by the weight loss. I mean, awesome, man.
So the one that was the biggest struggle for me in this whole list was number 8. Procrastination.
How many of these damn things we got?
9. I told you 9.
You said 9 right at the beginning.
Distracted with my iPhone here.
Well, you've already lost
one.
You've lost 2 because you didn't put the phone down and you're distracted.
So his point was, you'll never know if you never start. Procrastination. And the one thing that he said that really kind of struck home with me with procrastination, because I'm a person that's always procrastinated, is pick a task that needs to be done. So if you've got a list of things that needs to be done, pick a task that you need to do and work on it for 5 minutes. That's it. Work on it for 5 minutes. So how is working on a task for 5 minutes going to help you solve procrastination? It's the starting part of procrastination, because if you start that 5-minute task, you know you're going to finish it. And most people are that way. Chances are you will carry on and complete the task. And so if you just focus on, I'm going to give this task 5 minutes, you'll be amazed how many. It's why I list with my phone on eBay. It's not that I used to be the computer guy. I would tell you all these young people and their phones are crazy for it. But the one thing that changes with a phone is you complete each listing as you go. I'm not taking. I took some pictures the other day. I only got half of them listed. Every one that I went one by one, they listed. So it's amazing. makes me want to list more and more, because the next day I'll know, man, I started 3 and I finished 3, or I started 10, and that changes your mindset when it's you just pick up the phone and complete them versus trying to figure out where I'm at in pictures and all that. You have to work to your own strengths, but that is the number one reason why I list on the phone. And I don't even use my phone. I use the other phone. I use an older phone because I don't want the pictures clogged up on this one.
For me, it's procrastination and the perfection one you talked about in conjunction with each other. I have to get that, so I put this off until I get it, and that's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough to get anywhere when you have that mindset, and it's very hard to break that mindset.
So Felix, I wouldn't be surprised. I've been reading about, working on a morning routine. It's the most successful people in the world have that generally wake up early and have that morning routine, and not only do they get stuff done for work and stuff, they also spend the time to work on themselves. It's an important time of the day when with super no distractions that get yourself mentally and physically ready to do what you need to do. No, I wouldn't be surprised. That's actually something I'm trying to work on.
My wife gets up super early, gets all her work done first thing in the morning. She does. It's her alone time. I can't do it, but she does every single day. She's got that routine, and she gets way more done than I do. That's for sure.
All right, John, number 9.
Huh?
Number 9, are you excited?
Yeah.
You look so excited.
It's the one I put on here especially for you.
Okay, I'll pay attention. Let me put my phone down.
Number 9 is complaining. So what's wrong with complaining? Sometimes there's issues that you need to discuss, but I'm not talking about a 5-minute burst, a rant for a couple minutes because you're mad at something, and then you move on. It's there's people out there that no one likes to be around a complainer. It trains your brain to seek out the negative side of things. It affects you. It affects everyone around you, to the point of people will distance themselves. Complaining. Start seeing the glass half full. Start or accepting there's things you can't change and move on. Todd, I knew y'all would like that one.
I like midlife Ticker's freaking answer better than all of you.
I missed it.
Have a process.
Negativity breeds negativity. Yep. Positivity also breeds positivity. So choose your camp wisely. That's how I've always figured it.
But I thought that was a pretty good list when I saw it the other day. So I'm like, you know what? We'll go through. We'll have some fun with some of them. But everybody. I mean, everybody in this chat, even Felix, the most perfect person in the chat, can find something in those 9 that he suffers with. Mr. Sadie said number 9 is BS. I don't know why they put that down there. It's terrible. Felix said he was perfect on all 9. Damn it.
Listen, I forget which one it was, but it was the one about, you got to get in your freaking lane. Do you have to go to work for somebody if you don't have fuck you money? Yeah. Go to work for somebody. But get to a point that you can let go and start doing what you want to do. I got fuck you money. I could tell everybody, go fuck you. I don't need it. But there are people that I got to take a call from because I can't say that to them. I have enough money to do it. You have to do you. These checklists and all that other people create, that's great for them, but you got to do you. And that's the problem, is too many people take the time to watch my life, watch Scott's life, watch Steve's life, or whoever else they watch, Mr. Beast's life, whatever it is, and they want to compare themselves to them and try and build their life off of that. Well, you didn't live my life to get to where I'm at.
Well, everyone has a different experience. Everybody's wired completely different based on those experiences and based on uh, just life in general. But we all struggle from all those nines. Each one of us could look at it and go, parts of each one of those we can work on and be a better version of ourselves for our business and for the people in our significant people in our life if we understood.
Listen, most people here don't have a business. Most people here have created a job for themselves, and they feel like a hamster on a freaking wheel running around in circles all the time. Like they're always chasing their tail and never getting anywhere because they created a job for themselves without a process.
So that reminds me of one stupid TikTok I did see in the last week. Has anybody seen a hamster in the wild? Where the hell do these damn things come from?
They're desert animals.
Well, if you watch certain YouTube videos, they came from a freaking paper tube shoved up somebody's.
All right.
Where can you find a hamster in the wild?
Where do you find chickens in the wild? Just asking.
Free range chickens, they run around places.
Yeah, but
listen,
they're still
money and power are going to be controlled by
that way.
Money and power are going to be controlled by the new world order, which is the guys that have the data and are able to process it. Amazon gives you all the data you could possibly need for your business.
And
very few people will actually process the information that Amazon gives them. That's where the new money's going to be. Just like when the computers came out, you hear about Bill Gates, you hear about freaking Steve Jobs, but you don't hear about freaking IBM because they get crushed.
So, Mr. Sadie says they're in Amsterdam, but the one thing that I know about Amsterdam is it's famous for two things: the red light district and weed.
Well, hamsters, from what I understand, might fit right into that.
Have you caught something on the red light district that makes you see hamsters, or have you smoked something that makes you see hamsters? There you go.
I don't know. I've only been to Amsterdam a handful of times. Didn't know they had a red light district.
No, never heard of that.
The local humane society found a wild chicken.
Well, I fully agree with Felix on this one. FU money is just that. When you have enough money, not when Mark Cuban says I have enough money to say fuck you. When I feel I have enough money to go tell you to fuck yourself, that's when I have FU money.
Because everybody has a different lifestyle and what they need and what they, John said it earlier. They live simple lives. They don't need. You don't need his mansion and all that craziness, and you don't need to own a basketball team and whatever.
I do need to own a Rolls Royce. I've been posting a lot of them on my Facebook feed, and Lori and I are going up next week to look at them.
You know what I need to own eventually, and it's not going to happen anytime soon, and I know that. But this is my goal, and I've set this goal for myself, and I've talked to my wife about it. She don't care for it, but it's one of those Volkswagen ID buses when they come available in the States. I gotta have one of those. I at least got to ride in one.
So have you seen
cool looking vehicle.
Have you seen the company from Japan that makes the micro blue buses, but they put like a Volkswagen front on the front of them, so it looks like the itty bitty like 2-seater micro bus?
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Yeah. Do we have any people who play with money? Numitists in the chat? I have a question about a quarter. Who does money in the chat, like coins?
What do you got?
Somebody does. Just ask away.
Is it a W?
Quarter. No, see how it's all on that side? It's like there's nothing. It's all smooth here. I wondered if that was from the mint. I don't know. It's hard to see.
Look it up online.
I've tried. Anyway,
What year is
the
it?
ridge is 2019. The ridge is gone on that side. There's no, sorry. And it's like smooth right here, or right here. It's hard to see on the camera. You see the words are gone up here. Anyway, if anybody knows anything about that, get a hold of me.
I bet
It could be what's called a dryer coin, where it gets stuck in a dryer and it rubs that off, but I don't think so. It's super smooth with no discoloration, and it seems like the letters, on a quarter, they're pretty deep usually, but they're not. So
Look at our channel on Facebook, Steve.
what's the channel?
Oh, look in our chat on Facebook.
So did anyone?
I looked at something like that, but I'll look again.
So last week we talked about.
I think it's a strike error. That's what I'm.
International shipping. Did anyone who was struggling with sales on eBay turn off international shipping? Did it have any effect on your sales whatsoever?
No, because I didn't do it.
By the way, the backside of the quarter is normal. It's the Pacific War in the Pacific quarter of 2019.
Lag said it was somebody who liked to play pocket pool.
I noticed this coin. It was in my pocket, and I reached in my pocket, and I thought, why do I have a washer in my pocket? Because a washer is smooth.
Lag was right. It was from pocket pool.
So I got this some change somewhere, but I don't even know where I got it, and I don't even know if it would carry any extra value or anything. It's just something I was wondering.
My sales are up 41%. And if you ask me why, I can give you a very specific answer now. Everything I'm doing on Amazon at this moment is data driven. Every move I make is driven by data. I'm looking at my keywords. I am looking at the data that Amazon puts out. I'm looking at the data Google puts out. If you guys aren't looking at data, you're going to have a problem. I know I'm the oddball that comes on here and tells you stuff that 5 years from now you're going to look back and go, didn't know what he was talking about.
So Historic Publishing says he did it for his account immediately and have had sales daily. Same applies with his sisters, for what that's worth. There's a lot of people who are talking about if you haven't seen it, the international, whenever they rolled from global shipping to their new international shipping, it caused all kinds of headaches, and they're thinking I never saw the slow sales and stuff because I do my own international shipping. So it was not affected because I was not. Damn it, baby. Are your feet
I didn't have any issues.
Are your feet still wet?
I needed it. You hear about AI writing programs and doing this and doing that and doing that. I built a template that will write a listing for me. And everybody's like, oh, how are you going to make that a program? How are you going to sell it? It's for my internal use only. You will not, ain't nobody getting it. Well,
I tried to figure out how to actually hire somebody to write that program to sell, because I'm aware that it's a very valuable piece of software if you can make it.
Lag said if you lick it, it has a different kind of metallic taste. It's worth money.
Tastes like peanuts.
I'm a firm believer in it, and you're going to hear this more and more from me because I'm done teaching.
Lag warned me not to lick it too late.
Oh, sorry.
Oh God, now I'm going to die.
Did I miss that part?
I'm telling you now, I'm done teaching. I'm done trying to take my 5 steps and create a process for you to run your business.
Tell everybody hello, thieves.
And by doing that, I've been able to advance my business more because I'm going back to focus on what I do and what I do best. And that's thanks to Ben. My hat's off to the fat guy. I didn't realize how much Ben and I had in common. Areas we grew up in, ways we were raised, the ways we changed our lives. Our ages are very similar. We grew up around the same people, places, and things.
You ready to go? Are you ready to go? I'm not going.
Speaking of AI and implementing it into your business, here now I don't know. I didn't see an official thing, but I heard in some chats that
It is official.
eBay's gonna be implementing it into the listing process,
It
so
is
that you can
official.
actually use you can actually use AI in the eBay listing process, which you could do on your own now, but that's crazy. It's going to change things.
Amazon has been caught with their AI. They are looking for data scientists to help them with AI for their search, which they believe will be revolutionizing for the product, the way we search for products.
My local newspaper just posted an article about the traffic lights, and they're going to be using AI to control the traffic lights. The congestion on the road that they're doing it is really, really bad. It's notoriously bad. And so they're going to use it so that it'll actually recognize how many cars are on the road. It's crazy stuff that's coming up.
Here's what you have to understand. Tamara's talking about Congress regulating AI. Here's what you have to understand. Regulation is just a way for me to learn to get around it. When I started selling, it was the wild, wild west on eBay. I had 50,000 listings sitting ready to push a button, and they launched on eBay when they offered free listing days. I ran auctions, I ran all kinds of stuff. It was the wild, wild west. We are in the era of the wild west with AI. You're going to see good things happening with it. And very soon you're going to start seeing a lot of bad things happening with it.
Oh,
And you
we
know
are.
what?
Yeah.
When they start regulating it, it's just going to be other ways to jump through and around the hoops. I've watched it over 16 years in the selling community, and it took them forever to get listings under control. Forever. With all their own regulations, they couldn't get it under control. There's no way the U.S. government's going to be able to regulate AI. That cat is out of the bag.
Somebody's asking how you can use AI to do a vintage, like sell vintage. Well, eBay eventually will implement a form just like they have now, and you'll put in condition, you'll put in a note about a scratch here and there, and it'll just write the listing for you. Is what it'll do.
If you really want it, I can get it done in about an hour. My time's probably about $2,500 an hour. But I could write you a script in less than an hour to not only write a perfect listing for what you want, but set it up so it'll write a listing for all antiques you have.
It's basically just filling out forms and putting in the right stuff, putting in the right information.
It's learning. AI is about thinking differently. It's about how do you extract the data that you want in a way that you want it.
Yep. It's really not all that complicated to make AI do what you want it to do. I mean, we've all played with it.
What's complicated is building it into a program to do it one time or a couple of times or something like that. But to read data like such as a good example would be your PPC spend. Where are you spending too much money? You could do it so that you could do it one time or two times, but to have it go in and gather that data and give you as a report on a regular basis, that's where you're going to have these data scientists. And the title they're using right now is prompt engineer.
Yeah.
is how everybody's listing the job is a prompt engineer. I don't know if that's going to stick long term, but it is. They are engineering what you use AI for.
Oh,
I know
it'll get dumbed down eventually. But
I've seen how all this ends. Am I the only one that's watched Maximum Overdrive when the machines take over?
Impossible. Impossible. If you look at AI as anything other than a rifle or a handgun, you're sadly mistaken. Until
I
something happens from a human, nothing will ever happen with a gun. You can't kill somebody with a gun without somebody picking it up and pulling the trigger. That gun will never kill anybody. I got one I've been watching for freaking 3 years now. Ain't shot nobody.
has anybody
I
played with GPT-4 yet?
I put it under a seat cushion just so somebody could sit on it when they came over to visit me to see if it shot them. Didn't shoot them.
Please don't do that if I come to visit you, because I'm that guy that has that kind of luck. Shoot my leg off.
AI is the same
Well,
thing.
or
Until
something.
you tell it to do something or a human puts something in, it cannot think. God gave us something special in our minds to make us think. And I don't give a shit if you believe in God or not, but he did it. You will stand before him and go, yeah, okay, John was right.
Javis, that's a pretty good bet. It's outside of Wilmington, North Carolina. Yeah, I've been there.
I'm just, you guys are feeding into this AI craze of it's going to take over the world.
Yeah.
Well, when I was 18, freaking computers were going to take over the world, get rid of everything. Nobody was going to have a fucking job. Robots were going to do everything. And guess what? Here we are 40 years later, and we can't get
all AI
work.
does.
Robots ain't doing it either.
All AI does is manipulate existing information. That's it. That's all it can do right now.
It's not. It's truly not AI.
No, it's not truly AI. It's not real.
They use that term because it makes it sound eerie.
It sells things too. That term sells,
Alec Baldwin's a good friend of mine.
Really?
No.
I watch a lot of old Saturday Night Live clips because I like the old stuff, and he's on a lot of them. I cannot bring myself to watch that guy at all.
Machine learning. There's no fucking such thing as machine learning. All it is an
they
algorithm.
call it that. It's an
algorithm that simply can do one process.
Why are you outside?
It's actually a computer's capable of 4 things. It can add 0 plus 0, 0 plus 1, 1 plus 0, and 1 plus 1. That's it. It does not understand letters, pictures, anything. All machine learning is by inputting more data, it gives you something new. That's all it is. And it takes that data that it has and you put in more information. It readjusts what its thinking is.
It's just a new way to access the technology that already exists. It's not actual intelligence. Not yet. Not anywhere close.
It's because humans have a problem with wanting to put human qualities and characteristics on different things. We've done that as long as we've been around, and
it's phenomenal technology for sure.
We try to put it's thinking, it's doing this. It doesn't have it because that's the closest we can come up with the way it acts. And Lag has a robot. He programs it to do stuff.
Listen, I have machine learning built into me every day. And Scott, you're going to be able to you of everybody here will understand this better than anybody. Every day I do what's best for my business based on the information that I have accumulated up until that moment in time that I make that decision. If an hour later I have new information that I need to change directions, I will change directions based on the information I have up until that time. That is what machine learning basically is. As we feed it more and more data, it sorts the data faster than we could ever humanly possible do. And it makes a decision based on an algorithm at that moment in time. As you add more data to it, it will change its decision, quote unquote, based on data at that moment in time.
That's why the one thing they tell you is the strength of using ChatGPT and the other conversational AI is the prompt, because it can't read your mind and give you things. You have to tell it exactly what you want for it to search data.
This is my last word. No!
Haven't been able to use my fun little thing.
Well, that's the thing. That's the word that's changing my life going forward. Is no. I am saying no more and more.
What is that, a cow?
It's a fart machine.
What cow?
It's broken.
So what about the auction, Scott? Last week I sold 775, something like that. The big item last week was I picked up a 2 wrought iron chairs and a smaller table for patio for $25, and they went for 110. That was the best item last week.
132 says, "Hey guys, are you still?" 132 says, "Hey guys, are you still recommending not using loans for inventory? I'm considering leveraging the Amazon loan. What's your thoughts about the Amazon loan? Thanks." Don't do it.
You don't want my opinion, because loans for me would not be a good topic.
It is very. It makes it
Be
tough
careful
unless
if
you
you
have a
do.
plan, and you really have to understand, because the most people get in trouble with it because they won't use it for what it's for. It should be for inventory and that's it, but there's really no way they can control that. I've used them before. I've struggled to pay them off. It's good in the very beginning when you've got the ability to buy more stuff, but unless you are very good at tracking money and really dealing with that,
better have a pretty solid plan.
Well,
it's an expensive way to borrow money.
It's a real estate. I'm going to get real technical here on the Amazon side of the lending part of it. Dave Ramsey, if you go back and watch Dave Ramsey talks about how he went bankrupt from the bank foreclosing on him. So supposedly, that was in commercial lending. Amazon lending is designed for one thing, and one thing only: for Amazon to make money. The only leverage you can really get from Amazon money is if you find a very expensive, quick hit item and pay the loan back in a very short period of time. For example, I did a video on my channel that should still be there with the rollers. Remember them freaking hair rollers, Scott?
Oh yeah, the ones I wouldn't do because
because it was as seen on TV, and I said it's a one-time, one-shot, quick hit deal. If I needed the financing on an item like that, that's what Amazon lending is designed for, because it's a very short period of time. To grow your business, leveraging your inventory is a good idea. I leverage my inventory now through an SBA loan, which is a longer term. My inventory holds the value that my loan is. The Amazon lending is interest heavy in the beginning and causes problems later because it withdraws cash flow from your company while you're trying to keep inventories levels high enough to make those payments. It is a very dangerous thing.
I did it on a much smaller level back a while ago with a PayPal working capital loan, and you pay that out of the money you're bringing in, and it was tough. It was tough to get through that. We did it, but I learned some lessons from that, just like John did with his Amazon loans.
I did too. It was a struggle, and it was a struggle in the end to get out of them.
Yeah, it's a struggle. Now, I'm not saying. I mean, if you got a good solid plan and you want to get, I wouldn't go with that type of loan, but I wouldn't say not to. But for me, I know it's not a good idea.
Amazon keeps offering me between $800,000 and $900,000, and listen, it's a lot of money, and it can be very tempting because there's a lot of things that I could use that money for.
Even eBay right now is offering working capital style loans. It's true, like Lending Tree or something, but even those, they eat your income. They eat all the money you're bringing in.
You're working for them. I'm telling you, it's really not a good thing.
Brenda, why? Just because I've never done, and there's a lot of research going into 3-day fast and what happens, what your body does after 24 hours of repairing cells and repairing it whenever there's no food around to process. Your body turns into your systems on itself in order to
DuPage, I don't know. They offer just like Silver Hair there. I was offered $50,000 from eBay. I won't. There's no way I'm taking it. No way. But the PayPal working capital loans, a lot of that went off of how much you were actually bringing in on your eBay account at the time. I don't know what they're like now. They're different, but I know that for me, the eBay, we have good credit scores, even though we're way behind on, we're not way behind on anything. We're caught up with everything, but we're way in debt on everything. But our credit score is good. So eBay says, right now they're offering me $36,000 because my sales have gone way down. I'm not taking it. It's not an easy way for me to get out of debt. It's a way for me to get into a whole lot more,
The next millionaires will come from AI.
Guaranteed. Already have been.
And it's going to be engineered. I'm talking about the everyday guys, like I'm no Jeff Bezos, but I do very well from selling on their platform. The people that are going to make the real money in AI are going to get in now, and they're going to be engineers for people like me.
Oh, Bezos was
going
just
to develop ways for you to be able to use it.
Bezos, super smart guy, right place, right time, just like Steve Jobs, just like all the Bill Gates. Right place, right time, but super smart and knew knew where the technology was going.
And Elon Musk
are that person,
is the newest one.
Yep.
Elon Musk is the right place at the right time. He bought Twitter for the data.
Of course he did.
We want billions. Millions is so 1990s.
Does anybody have any reselling questions? I'm more than happy to answer them. Here to remind you about the best boxes out there for shipping. Supply Hut.
I will be right back.
Damn, I'm all by myself. What the hell?
I got to make Lori's
tinkle.
He's got a tinkle.
Tell Lori
he's got a tinkle. He's got a tinkle after drinking a Bud Light.
Yeah, Mark. It's people have got to be selling more, absolutely. But I cash flow everything. I don't want the debt. Can you get into reselling without AI? No, you cannot. John said it's the future. You cannot. As long as you're in, I have not seen it blocked. I've seen it where just because you're in the hazmat program, they didn't give you flammable, and so certain items when you can't send in because you don't have flammable storage. That was an error. I think they were when you got hazmat, you were supposed to get flammable. They didn't give it to me. You'd have to open a case, Mark, with that. Just a rock band. Yeah, that shouldn't be hazmat. Unless they don't have information on the batteries in the guitar, who knows? But I would open a case with ASIN specific to see if I get some information. Remember, you got to treat Amazon customer service like they're an AI prompt. They've got plenty of data and they got plenty of stuff, but unless you ask them specifically the right questions, yeah.
No, I've had a lot of things go hazmat review that were not hazmat. Usually if you wait it out, but if you've already sent that into FBA, then it kind of sucks because then you got to recall it and everything. But I would still open a review on that one or a case on that one.
Oh, it's absolutely a mistake.
It happens a lot though. I've had books go hazmat because they had something in the title that, had maybe was due to some hazmat thing. It's weird how it's all done by robots. It's all AI over there.
Yeah, but the FCC ID stuff for the guitars would not come through as hazmat. That's the radio policy that was put out by the government that everything had to have the radio ID and stuff.
Oh, you know what? That might be it because there was that radio ID thing.
That wasn't hazmat. That one wasn't Amazon being an asshole. That was
a government regulation
that was causing a pain in the ass. The bane of our existence for most of the stuff that we deal with is the government who allows these bureaucrats to make all these. They'll make a law saying you have to do this, and then you got unelected bureaucrats who just muck up the whole system. Because just think about the normal person that works in government. I wouldn't let them walk my fucking dog, and they're out there making policies that everybody in the country has to follow.
Watch a little bit of Louis Rossman and his dealing.
Did I freeze or did he
people
freeze?
in government are. It's crazy.
Hazmat, bug spray, any aerosols, you'd be amazed what they consider hazmat.
I'm here. I'm eating my breakfast.
Oh, didn't know you were gone.
I was almost starting to tear up. Why are the dogs coming out here? Did Joni leave and I don't know it? Yeah, like Brenda says, mosquito. So I had a pair of socks that was considered pesticide. And I think that was considered hazmat because it mentioned antimicrobial properties.
Yep, or antibacterial anything. Or
So understand that just because you think, oh, that's a mistake, chances are it's not a mistake. You're just don't understand the rules.
On the Rock Band guitar, it's a mistake, but on most things,
yeah, the Rock Band is not.
that didn't fit in that situation. I'm sorry.
So, Mark, are you talking about? So the easiest way to do that, Mark, is because each of you can put a picture with your listing. put a letter on. If you've got 3 of the same ones on the neck of the guitar, put the letter A on it or the letter B on a little sticker when you take the picture and then take it off. Use the SKU. Another way is to, the M SKU is whatever you want to make it. Put it guitar A, guitar B, guitar C, and then identify it in the picture so you know which one it is. It's that would be the way I would do it. Is I would use the M SKU, and then in combination with the M SKU, I'd put something on a label on the guitar that tells you this one goes with this one. Especially if they're different, if you've got a very good and a good, they're going to be different numbers anyway, and that each one with different conditions should be a different number. I bought a guitar for $1 at the yard sales the other day. What I did with it, one of the Xbox 360 wired. I think it's worth about $80 on eBay. It's getting listed today. Oh, it's in the trailer. Yeah, an Explorer guitar. Most people choose for their computers or whoever to automatically make an M SKU or SKU, whichever. It's going to be the same. You're allowed to make it whatever you want. So under Reseller List is which one I use. It allows you to make a custom one, and you can pick what you want to put in it, like date purchased, where you purchased it. You can put all kinds of different things in there, and it does it automatically. But if you don't assign it one, Amazon automatically assigns it, and so you could put on it. You could use it to say, "Hey, it's on shelf B in your house." Whatever. It's just a number for your side.
Same as that field on eBay works. Same thing.
Eric, no, that's important. If you definitely don't, if you have an opportunity to, I would be after reselling this long, I would probably be a terrible employee. I'm not saying I would never do it again, but I don't know how great of an employee I would be.
I would be a great employee.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't a great employee before I started reselling or working on my own. Yeah, I would be a great employee now.
Can we hear some more cardboard stories?
No, I'm fresh out. My wife's son just took a job at a box factory.
Did you tell him what not to do to get fired?
No, I'll let him figure that on his own.
You're a terrible stepdad.
Oh my Lord! What are we freaking time warping in the freaking the Mad Hatter's money
that
show
failure.
with all the sound effects?
Because
that was failure.
The one thing that's important, what Eric is saying about opportunity to take a position at the post office. You never know what opportunity, and it's a different. Everybody has to make a decision for your life and what you're happy and what you want to do. You can't live your life based on what other people, looking for someone else's approval. And at the end of the day, you got to be able to live with yourself. And if the opportunity comes and you want to take it, there's no shame in that. Do what's best for you and your family, and everybody else be that number one comparison. The others be damned. They're just doing number 9. They're just doing a John. They're just complaining because they're probably jealous to begin with. So, are there any? I didn't see any this week. Any crazy news about anything happening in reselling? I haven't. Oh Lord!
everybody's up in arms about the re-verification process on Amazon
On
lately.
Amazon, yeah.
Yeah, that's somewhat news, but if you're putting in your documents correctly, I'm sure you're going to get verified.
I gotta go. We got a Bud Light drinker just arrived.
Where's my intro music, Steve? Give me some intro music.
We had the rainbows before we had rainbows before you came on there, Bud Light.
No!
There we go. Finally got it.
John,
Oh, we could do this one.
John, you should probably pick up someone else who to be a Bud Light drinker, since Harlan is allergic to beer and can't drink beer.
That's right. I only drink whiskey. I did drink vodka last weekend. Not well. Just saying. No more vodka.
What is it about beer that makes you allergic?
I think it's the barley and the malts.
I mean, you could be allergic to much worse things, I suppose.
Yeah, I did see that Silverhair eBay is changing item specifics that are required, and they're changing some categories around. I think Bed Bath & Beyond is it's supposed to be done by the end of this month, right? Is that correct?
Also, Tuesday mornings is going out of business, I heard. So that might be. I actually bought stuff for resale there. I know Stu used to buy a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, they've been going out for most of this year. They started by closing a few stores here and there, and then now that
I guess the whole chain's going. Yeah. And there was a few others. I saw a list the other day of some of the ones, but those two stick out to me: Bed Bath & Beyond and Tuesday mornings. Burger King's closing 400 restaurants. It's crazy. Doesn't do us any good as resellers, but actually, if they sell off their equipment, you could probably go in and buy some cheap.
You're gonna see a lot of that. So we only focus here on mainly reselling and some politics, but it's. I've said before, I ran fast food restaurants for 25 years. I don't see how they're making it right now. I mean, these Burger Kings are going under due to cost. The cost of labor has risen dramatically. The cost of food is, and you can only take the prices up so much. People go out and eat fast food and see how much. I was watching somebody last night and they were saying they got 2 subs, 2 things of chips, and 2 drinks. It was like $25.
I went to Lowe's yesterday on North Parkway, and that Burger King sits right there. There was one car in the drive-thru. That was the only car in the whole parking lot. Like, you couldn't even tell that anybody was there working. There was no cars at all. Just one car in the drive-thru.
As a DoorDash driver, I experienced that a lot where I'm at this restaurant and nobody's in there. I'm picking up probably the only order they've had for an hour.
Wow.
They're not coming in to buy it. They're ordering through an app, which costs the restaurant 30%, of the revenue. So it's crazy. Now, a lot of restaurants like Chick-fil-A, man, I can't even walk through that restaurant. There's so many people in there most of the time, but others, are just it's tight. It's getting tight out there.
That was lag at the drive-thru yesterday.
You couldn't find the Burger King on the Parkway. First off, you have to know which one he's talking about.
That's a long way to be driving for a Burger King.
But I don't know. It's going to continue to happen because either that or the prices are going to have to go up. And once the prices go up, I mean, look at how much is like a Big Mac combo cost these days? Can't be cheap.
I know. I get the double quarter meal when I do go out, which I never do anymore. But it's like $15 just for that meal. And some McDonald's, some it's a little bit cheaper, but between $12 and $15 just for that stupid meal.
Harlan, when you going to be
Not
in
worth it.
Vegas?
June 11th through the 14th, I think.
Yeah, I'm in Alaska.
May. Yeah, I think 11th through the 15th, something like that.
It was kind of appropriate.
Womp,
Oh.
womp.
I'm in Alaska. I could send you a guest pass, but it's a boring place if you don't know anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter has a HR conference. And she said that Bill Clinton is speaking at the HR conference. I'm like, what, on sexual misconduct in the workplace? What's he speaking on?
I wonder what he gets paid to be a public speaker now. It's big money. I know it is.
There ain't no telling.
Yeah, especially
Hey,
with
Go
keto,
ahead.
I don't eat these meals at all. I rarely eat out at all.
So I kind of cheated on my diet when I was down there. Barry and I met up, and he took me to my first Bojangles. I've never been to one before. So yeah, they're
Me
like they're as bad as Dollar Generals down there. There's like one on every freaking corner.
Yeah, I've never been to Bojangles. Was it any good?
No, it was okay.
The biscuits are the bomb.
The rounds, the bow rounds, I think they call them.
Yeah,
Those are good.
they've got
How
onions.
long
in
did you
them.
work
I
there,
don't like
Scott?
Say what?
How long did you work at Bojangles?
Like 4 years.
They're like a freaking plague, though. I mean, they're everywhere. We don't
Yeah.
have them here, so
They got very good sweet tea.
Yeah, I was a training manager for 4 years with them. Yeah, I deemed it liquid crack.
Here's the one thing about reselling, and Harlan's probably going to jump in on this, and Scott, you have to be willing to make changes to how you do things. I know Harlan's had to make some changes because of where he lives now versus having that big house with a big old freaking garage that he was able to store stuff in and do all that. You have to be willing to pivot. I can't pivot as well as I used to 10 years ago. Size does play a role in how much you can pivot.
size
And,
matters.
Todd, $218 for 6 people. Shit. That's why we didn't go nowhere.
Hell, I took
What's
Harlan and Scott out, and the bill was $700.
That's because you
I
made
sent
me
my
eat
mom-
steak. I tried to eat chicken.
I sent my mom a Facebook message for Mother's Day.
You cannot go out to a steakhouse with me and eat chicken, Harlan. You know that.
Well, nowadays I bet you could.
No, I know.
Not with me. You're not
No.
allowed.
Still
He won't-
got to
he
eat
won't-
steak.
You can. He won't let you.
I won't let you. I don't
Well,
take
yeah, I
people
mean, you're
out.
going to a steakhouse.
That's one of the reasons I like that particular steakhouse. They don't have prices on the menu. Get what the frick you want if I take you out to dinner.
Yeah, I just pick whatever, and I'm like, oh, Harlan said chicken. Here it comes.
Scott knew. Scott knew it was coming too.
Was that Hugo Cellar? Was that the name of that one?
Yeah.
Hugo Cellars, yeah,
Hugo Cellar.
in the basement of Four Queens.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice place.
Wait until we go to the country club. The meals there are freaking out of this world.
Well, we'll be back in October.
I'll be there. I mean, it's 90 minutes for me. I love going up there.
Well, I must be doing a good job. Nobody has reselling questions. We have solved the world's problems now.
I have a lot. You want me to ask mine?
We're gonna go.
Can I ask my reselling questions?
Can we start making a list of all the people we need to hang all the traders.
Okay, I'd rather get on that.
People you need to what?
The trader list, all the ones that need to hang for I'm
Hey,
telling you
Jimmy
over and over,
Carter,
folks.
Jimmy Carter's still kicking, right?
Yes.
Or so no. Nice.
I thought they put him in hospice though.
He did. He refuses all. I know that he said no more medical treatment. I just didn't know if he had passed. I don't watch the news, so I don't know.
That was the gift before he passes is Joe Biden, because that easily makes Jimmy Carter not the worst president in my lifetime.
Oh, anymore. he's like, okay, I can lay down and die now. I ain't the worst president anymore.
Jimmy was a great man. He just wasn't a good president.
Oh, he's an outstanding human being for sure.
What he does is just
Joe, on the other hand,
he's a slime ball all the way around.
I think so.
You can disagree with someone's politics and they'd be an outstanding person, but yeah, I can't say one redeeming quality about Joe. We want to talk about taking showers.
He's got a convertible for sale with the papers.
Lots of papers.
He'll scrub your back, including his own daughters in the shower.
Wait, what? I don't. Okay, that's TMI. I don't need.
Have you not seen his daughter Ashley, her diary, where her dad takes showers with me? Come on. What is
adult daughter? I hope.
What is Canalot?
Here's what I could tell you is you need to in this day and age and in this world. I've been starting to watch the bigger, more powerful people like Ben Mallow with his real estate, because they're starting to talk about this more and more. They're talking about a top-down collapse and what the difference between this collapse and 2008 is. One of the big things they're talking about right now is what's called a 1031 in real estate. There's a lot of money made in real estate that was sold and put into these what's called a savings account 1031, and these things are coming due. When this money is spent, these markets will start to collapse. And they're not going to collapse. They're not going to collapse in your local housing market to start. They're going to start in the hotels and the commercial property and the big apartment complexes and stuff like that. You're going to start seeing these big commercial loans going under.
Hey, Brenda, thank you so much. Never in my lifetime, but they're purposely trying to see what they can do. Ignore that too. Well, dang, thank you. The one thing I never in my lifetime thought I would have to say, did you see the dude on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit front? Have y'all seen that?
Dude, what?
They put a trans on the cover of Sports Illustrated for the swimsuit model.
Yeah, well, I never, I'm not a sports person anyway.
They also
put Martha Stewart.
What's that football team I'm supposed to like? Auburn, that's it.
They also put Martha Stewart on the front. Who puts Martha Stewart on the front of the swimsuit issue? Come on.
Yeah. She's what, 81?
Luckily, luckily most of it was covered up. I saw the picture.
Now, what I did just see was Snoop Dogg's got his own cookbook.
Snoop Dogg.
I'm sure she's in that with him. They've over the years become very good friends.
What's it called? Cooking with weed. He got weed.
Let's get baked or something like that. I think it's called Bacon with Snoop or something.
Nobody's selling it. What?
Martha is hot. Okay.
Well, then somebody turned the air conditioner on.
Don't worry, she pays somebody to turn on her air conditioner.
I saw her house from a distance. We took a tour when we were
it's
our harbor. Holy hell!
Snoop Dogg from crook to cook.
See, I know. I seen it. There it is.
Oh, Lord.
From crook to cook. That's but they're just pushing us now. All you everybody that went to drinking Miller and Coors Light, Miller Coors said hold our beer with in March they ran one of these same over underqualified over positioned women in a beer company ran for I didn't even know March was Women's Month. Why does everybody have a different month? When's White Man's Month?
Every month.
Dumb.
Caucasian
Dumb.
Male Month.
Boy, are you ignorant, man? We have it's our month every month. Just ask them. They will tell you it's our month every month.
So even Wednesday, I'm sorry, March, they ran an ad about women brewers. In the beginning of beer, there were women brewers, and our accomplishments have been, I don't know if you've seen the commercial, I've been reduced to chicks in bikinis selling beer. We're out to get rid of all this old advertising and all this.
Okay, so let's go to this chicks in bikini selling beer thing. You know that Budweiser poster from back in the 80s with the three girls laying down and it said Budweiser across swimsuits? You know that poster? I'm sure you know that poster.
Sure.
I know the dark-haired girl from that poster. She is proud to have done that. That's like the biggest accomplishment in her life.
Well, listen, you got to understand something. Ain't nobody holding a gun to these girls' head saying do this. They do this on their own. Do you think Miley Cyrus? Did you think anybody told Miley Cyrus to do the crap she did? She knows what she's doing. She ain't.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess her godmother Dolly advised against it.
Oh well.
I'm gonna guess.
I don't know. I picture Dolly.
Dolly's kind of progressive. But.
I picture Dolly being a lot like my mother, who is an extreme right winger. She is the sweetest little oldest grandmother I know, and she would say, "Listen, I don't know that I would do that, but I support you 100% in your decision."
Well, yeah.
My mother does not interject her views on any of her grandchildren.
Yeah, don't go to Target. If y'all have seen Target has put a rainbow on everything. Little kids' clothes, everything. It is pretty disgusting that they're forcing. Y'all need to start reading. Y'all need to start reading Revelations.
Oh yeah. Read the Bible. Reading the Bible's good.
In the end times, the sexual perversion, all this craziness. It's
Yeah, but then I tell you to go read Kings in the freaking Old Testament. There was good king and there was bad kings.
If the Lord took out Sodom and Gomorrah for how bad if was Sodom and Gomorrah worse than we are today? Does anybody else think about that?
I mean, it was pretty. If you read the story, it was pretty open in the streets everywhere.
Okay.
I mean,
you want to walk down Amsterdam on the red light district and see it in the streets?
So you got to be willing to change. There are going to be a lot of changes coming. What are you doing with Mylar? What are you bagging?
Electronics.
Computer boards.
Oh, yes. For your job?
Just static bag.
What are you at work?
Yeah. I'm getting paid to be on this show.
You're the only one. Freaking Scott owes me so much money, it's pathetic.
Dang, Scott. Pay the man.
I built this channel on my back.
Oh my God. Scott, step up and do some work, Scott.
Harlan, can you give me some reparations or whatever the shit they call that in California?
We got free beer in the fridge. We have...
Bitch, go drink a Bud Light. Leave me alone.
We got free lunch.
And all you have to do is vote for Joe Biden.
Everything is free here. Whoop, whoop.
That didn't do what I wanted it to do. That wasn't the right sound effect. Yeah.
So I guess the next few shows we'll start talking about the summer slowdown and how everybody.
Hold on, I want to see how slow I am right now.
I slowed down.
I thought you was going to say
Pretty
reselling.
Yeah,
You know, I thought this.
slow. I'm only at 2,500 for the day.
So I follow a couple of the gig economy guys on YouTube, and they complain about the summer slowdown too. It's not just a reselling thing. It's all over, and it's not a slowdown because people aren't buying things. It's a slowdown because we're out doing things other than reselling. You know.
Then why do you
we've
call it a
talked about
slowdown?
that. Right. I don't. I'm just saying.
It's a season, just
yeah,
like
it's a
Christmas.
season. But you're not putting in nearly as much. I'm out mowing the lawn, or I'm out going to the beach, or you're not putting nearly as much effort into if you're full time, a reselling business as you are in the wintertime. It's just not happening because you got so many more things you can do. If you live in my area, anyway.
I didn't mow the grass today. What's up?
My wife wants a robot mower.
I feel kind of lazy that I didn't mow the grass this morning during the show.
Too wet.
Why don't you mow the grass anymore? That's what I want to know.
Somebody told Scott to stop cutting grass. I can't remember.
Were you there when I did that, Harlan?
Mm-hmm.
I cussed him up one side and down another.
Reparations for Builder. Who is Builder?
It's John. John built the channel, he said.
I built the channel. Oh, yeah, this one definitely went off the rail.
There's a lot of just if you can. I need to start making it where I make shorts of these like these 9 things because they get so lost in the middle where we actually talked about good information.
Why? You want to make it easy for somebody so they have the perfect information? I thought we started the show off that way.
No. N-O, no.
I really need one of them. Where'd you get it? Can I buy it on Amazon? I need one.
I bought that one at a yard sale for $0.25.
I buy every one I see. I'm addicted to these things. This is what I collect. I have a bunch of
my
them.
latest thing is getting out of my business. It is a process that I need to step away from and let other people run the process. I don't need to teach anybody. You guys can watch. You guys can ask me questions about it. You can do all that. But I don't need to show it to a freaking soul. I need to do me. I need to focus on me. I believe AI is going to smack us. Here's what I think about AI. AI is going to change Amazon by the end of this year, the same way the pandemic changed Amazon in 2020 between March and the end of the year of 2020. You guys, most of the people don't get into the higher level stuff that I see going on. There are people out there right now that can create an image from AI that you would thought was shot from a camera.
All right, I gotta go use the bathroom. Since I'm not eating breakfast, I'm just going to the bathroom. Everyone.
Put that up as the ending of the show.
That's the perfect ending of this crazy ass show. Roll Tide.
Sweetwater out.